Hey guys, we're back again with another review of Invincible. Today we'll be covering issue 67 and my goodness, I am excited. Sorry for the jump scare, but before we get into this review, let's take a step back. In the last chapter, we were introduced to the infamous space racer, the legend of all legends. This man even has stories written about how great he was. This chapter starts off with Nolan and Alan restraining the space racer as he is a little hostile, attempting to use his infamous weapon. But suddenly the asteroid is breaking apart due to the power that these three monsters hold, which is causing a chain reaction. Nolan grabs the space racer and flies out of the asteroid. The space racer finds an opening and separates himself from Nolan and is ready to shoot both him and Alan. Now, Nolan has to explain why he came back and says he came back to save him. However, Space Racer isn't stupid and knows that they only came back to get his gun that could erase anybody's existence. Fucking OP. Alan steps in knowing that he is Nolan's only saving grace and pleads on his behalf, saying that he is now a reformed person working with the coalition of planets to destroy the Viltrumite Empire. Alan promises that they're the good guys now, and as a token of faith, he will take him back to their headquarters. He really doesn't accept their apology, but he is a little hungry since he's been buried for the last 100 years. Alan offers him the Can's Log snack, but even the space racer denies the alien chips. Nah, he's bugging, because how is this three-eyed monster too good for the Cheeto worms? Space Racer agrees to join them, and if they cross him, they are finito. Back to the coalition of planets, their scientists do a physical on the space racer, and the Viltrumite Traitor, aka Thaddeus, is proud of the work Nolan and Alan have done. He sends them home and will alert them of their next mission. And man, another night of Alan putting in some alien work, and Nolan is tired of it. These sounds will haunt him for the rest of his life. Absolute torture, and everyone knows large sounds are Viltrumite's biggest weakness, so he's probably tweaking right now. They now are on a mission to go find Ragnar, and the Viltrumites discovered this race some time back and sent a few teams at a time to destroy them, but they failed miserably. Nolan was on one of the teams and came up with the idea of using a solar disk to block their sun, freezing them. He is talking to someone at base and requests that the coalition prepare a team to transport the cargo before they thaw out. They must first remove the solar disk slowly to make sure the process is as smooth as possible. However, these dodo birds fire a laser right into the planet. Nolan is angry as hell because the ice will be destroyed in just a few minutes when moving the disc would have slowed down the thawing process without unleashing the Ragnars. They try to take one of the Ragnars out that was still frozen, but it starts to break out of the ice, and now they truly are cooked. The base is confused as to why Nolan's heart is racing so fast, as he didn't tell you that this needed to be a clean process because of the danger these monsters pose to Alan and him. The mission is now a bust, and these boys are getting pressed out of their mind. Nolan tells Alan to flee because these monsters can easily eat Viltrumites, and the only reason they're alive is because they're still groggy from being frozen. They barely make it out, and phew, that was close. Alan wants Nolan to get on the ship, but if he gets on that ship, he is going to kill the crew with his bare hands, so he decides to cool off and fly back to Telescaria. Thaddeus thanks them for risking their lives and apologizes for the crew screwing up the mission. He reminds them that not all missions will be successful and that he admires Nolan's restraint, knowing the type of short-tempered blood that runs through his veins. But good thing his book is filled with potential weapons that could help them with their long fight. They then think of solutions that could help them in their fight, like the Ch.67 plant that can weaken Viltrumites, but are impossible to keep from growing. So they infested the planet with sin-like beetles that could eat the plant faster than it could grow. Another idea is getting this dude Battle Beast, and he is back in the picture. We learn that he brought his own planet Utopia, but in doing so, he became addicted to conflict. He became so addicted to conflict to the point where he constantly left his planet in order to seek enemies worthy of testing his unique abilities. I hear great things about this man, and I'm excited to see what he's really capable of. And after all this time, this man Nolan still doesn't have his own crib. He still has to hear Alan and his girl go at it. She comes downstairs and is still angry at the fact that after months and months, he still doesn't have his own crib. But Alan tells her that they've been working so much, he hasn't had time to find a spot. Man, I feel so bad for Nolan. After hearing your mans have alien sex, that has to be the most traumatizing thing he's ever been through. And that's saying a lot, because this probably feels like purgatory. The next day arrives and Nolan is having his one-on-one with Thaddeus, discussing his concerns for their mission. They were able to extract a diluted sample of the Klax's poison with the help of the space racer, and even though the other items have good potential, he fears that it will still not be enough. Thaddeus tells him to follow him into his secret lair of his office and tells Nolan the time to strike is now and that he should go back to Earth to get his son along with that boy with the Geldarian weapon. I'm sorry, who is he talking about? I'm sure we'll learn about this later, but I will definitely be on the lookout. And Thaddeus is a man of secrets as he drops an absolute hammer on us when he tells Nolan that he wasn't completely aware of what happened to his people. In fact, he doubles down and says his genetic signature made the Scourge virus even possible. This is fucking crazy. What the hell? This is actually insane. Oh my goodness. He came to the realization that his people, for a lack of a better term, were evil. And that's insane intelligence to even come to that conclusion, considering all the years of indoctrination